South Australian opposition is today preparing to release the long-awaited costings for its $3 billion in election commitments. It's the last political hurdle for a Labor Party heading into Saturday's election as firm favourites amid a recent uptick in polling. Sky News reporter Joel Philp joined Labor leader Peter Malinauskas on his morning run to talk about his ambitions as leader in the second of Sky's SA Leader Profiles.
Peter Malinauskas running for the state election and with the local community.
All right, let's go.
Anyone is welcome to join these weekly Wednesday runs, so Sky News joined the Labor leader for the 5-kilometre jog just days out from the election.
Peter Malinauskas, great run there. Are you going to keep doing this if you become Premier?
This is something that we decided to put on for the campaign, just to allow people to engage with me as leader of the Labor Party in a completely different form. We opened up to all South Australians to come along, and I'm certainly humbled by the amount of people that have come out and shown their support.
Your pitch to South Australians is all about investing big for the future, but there's something that doesn't really fit with that, and that is the cheap shots that you keep taking at the government for their plans for a riverbank arena, calling it a basketball stadium. The project is much more than that, really, isn't it?
The basketball stadium is a nice to have. Having ambulances roll up on time is a need to have that we can't compromise on.
But it is more than a basketball stadium. Will you acknowledge that?
Call it what you like. I mean, the simple fact is the government themselves have characterised it as a basketball stadium. Call it Riverbank Arena. I'm really not fussed. The simple fact is, what is the priority at the moment? And that's got to be fixing our health system.
All right, let's now talk about your hydrogen plant plan. Now, this plan involves taking renewable energy and turning it into fuel that can be exported overseas. Now, South Australia is already getting an interconnector that allows us to share our renewable energy with New South Wales. Can we have both, and will they work together?
Oh, look, we see there is a place for both, but the hydrogen opportunity is about making sure that South Australia capitalises on first mover advantage around the hydrogen industry, and we're better placed than anywhere around the world to do it because of our abundant supply of renewables. The fuel that the rest of the world is going to want and need in the second half of this century is hydrogen.
You recently took a shot at the Prime Minister for a defence announcement that he made in WA. Isn't defence a little bit like your health commitments in the way that we need to do this together as a community and a nation?
Defence policy as a nation has to be got right. But Scott Morrison and this coalition government has made a lot of commitments to South Australia that haven't come to fruition. Half the reason why we've seen Scott Morrison kowtow to Western Australia so much is because Mark McGowan's strong leadership. That's what our state needs. Scott Morrison calls our Premier a quokka, Mr Smiley, because he always capitulates to ScoMo's will.
And what does Albert call you? He doesn't have a nickname for you?
Most people call me Mally. So it's not a very creative nickname, but when your last name's Malinauskas, 11 letters into 4 makes it a bit simpler.
Peter Malinauskas, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Joel. Appreciate it.